Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Working in 222 in the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every Rebroadcast, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
2, 1.
Well, as you guys can tell, Derek Irvin doesn't miss anything. If you don't want to miss anything as well, go to YouTube. Search at Sweep the League TV. Be a subscriber today. We're giving away a bunch of prizes and stuff. Be a subscriber today so you don't miss, just like Derek never misses. Subscribe to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Happy Halloween, everybody. It is Sweep the League. It is a very special Halloweeny edition of Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. going to be joined by a full cast of thousands. We've got the full crew here tonight. Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, back from vacation, Coach Gio. We got a lot to get into. We've just had the report coming out. Paolo Banchero is kind of breaking my heart here. 4 to 6 weeks he's going to be out for the Orlando Magic, my surprise team in the East, but we'll go over that. Also, got a little rant that I want to go on before we go with the boys. I want to ask them a question here. Promised one of my neighbors I'd ask them a question, so we'll get the rant going right away. Also, NFL talk, NCAA talk. Ton of games this weekend for NCAA. I cannot wait for tomorrow to get our picks in. A lot of good games this weekend. Remember, Friday night we're gonna do our picks, the Pick'em Show. NCAA, NFL. Be sure to join us for your pick'ems. How do you fare? Derek Irvin went perfect 13-0, I believe, last Saturday. So we're going to see if we can continue the wave of winning. Winning, definitely. We're going to bring him on here now. Let's bring on the guys now. We're going to bring on Coach Gio. We're going to bring on Derek Irvin here. First up, Hall of Famer Derek Irvin. Derek, you doing all right, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about you?
I'm good. I'm ready to get started. Quick shout out, man. We're going to be doing sweep on Wednesdays for the next few Wednesdays. So we'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, possibly a couple of Mondays. We'll see if we can do a couple of Mondays, but we're going to be 4 times now out of the week instead of the 3 and running, replays and stuff. But nonetheless, I'm glad to be back, man. We got a lot to get into. We got to bring on the man himself, the legend. He's back, Derek. I'm kind of happy to have him back from a long vacation.
Welcome back, Gio.
Yeah, we got to welcome him back, man. We got to welcome him back here. Let's bring him on. Coach Gio's back. The round of applause for Coach Gio. I mean, where's he been? People thought I fired you, man.
No, I think, I've not been fired. I'm still here.
I know you're not fired. I haven't fired. I don't fire anybody. I mean, it's hard to get fired from Sweep the League. I mean, I think I fired myself before anybody else.
Well, then we gotta have someone take over the channel. I have someone in mind.
You have someone in mind. What are you talking about? Someone in mind? Oh no! Don't be posting anything in the chat.
The private chat.
Yeah, the Sweep the League chat. That's private chat right there. We can't get into anything like that, man. Definitely not. Let's get into some comments before we go on a little rant here. Happy Halloween, Sith Lord Elias. So shout out to him, man. Him and Brandon Medina. They do a wrestling podcast, Down for the Count. It's every Monday night. It's kind of good that we don't go live on Mondays at 9:00 because that's when they take over for Monday Night Raw and everything that's happened in the wrestling world. Brandon and Elias, they do a fantastic job. Be sure to check out Down for the Count every Monday night at 9:00. It's on Twitter or X or whatever it is. So check those guys out. Tar Heels are the best. Tim, I don't know. What the F up is everyone? Happy Halloween. Hope you're all having a good night. Remember to hit the kids with the dad tax. Yeah, I passed out candy tonight and I gave all the candy away. While we were leaving, we saw these little kids walking by. You want the rest? Dump the bowl in there. That's all we had to do. So shout out to the kids. Be sure to have the parents check the candy before you eat it. Thanks for everybody joining. Shout out to Chris Leha, MCS General Contractor. They got done with a pretty big project this week. I'm going to hit up Chris for lunch, man. We're going to have lunch. Gio, you want to go to lunch with me and Chris? Derek, I know I could probably go, but I don't know. We'll try to get Gio. We can fly him down here. Go to lunch with Chris Leha and MCS.
Go to lunch with a Saints fan. Great.
I'm a Falcon fan. I mean, we have a great time. We have a great time.
I don't have any beef with Falcons. You guys are historically have,
Let it go. Let it go, Gio. They're not going to recall that penalty. Let it go. Let it go. Happy Halloween. Let's get it. Jacob Berg, Detroit legend and UTSA Hall of Famer. One day I'll get it right, Tim. I promise. One day I'll get it right. Blue Devils on KSAT 12. Wow, they're going to be losing on local TV here in San Antonio. That's awesome. Derek, I need to ask you a question tomorrow night involve college football. Bring the questions for college football for Derek. Dad tax. We have to call her Rice Krispies. We didn't get any Rice Krispies in this neighborhood. I'm in a bunk neighborhood. I'll tell you that much right now. And Chris saying he'll pay for your lunch, Gio. Whatever you want, he'll pay for your lunch. So Gio eats grass, basically. He doesn't eat anything else. So should be a pretty easy lunch.
Wait a minute. You eat more grass than I do.
I eat a lot of salads, man. But you should be proud of me, Gio. Today I had my Chipotle bowl. At work, they had a potluck, so I had a little bit of like not pulled pork, but like pulled brisket. I had a jalapeno pig in a blanket.
Sure.
A couple of chips. And then when we got home to the Halloween, I got a Peter Piper pizza for everybody. I had like 3 slices, man.
Look, Rudy,
I'm living on the edge now. I'm living on the edge.
Sometimes you got to live a little, right, Derek? I mean, look.
Hey, we only going to live one time, man.
You only live one time.
You said it. You live only one time. So,
well, Rudy, I'm not saying go order a box of pizza every night.
I mean, that's not every night. Pipers, but that's another story.
So the Peter Piper's is not the best pizza. It's good, Derek. Peter Piper's is good.
Okay.
Which one do you take? Which one would you take?
I like Pizza Hut better than Peter Piper.
Okay. Pizza Hut.
I mean, pizza. Pizza is pizza. Pizza is good, so I like pizza. So it's not always Pizza Hut. I do switch it up. So I'll give a shout out to Peter Piper.
Peter Piper. I don't know what it is, man. Peter Piper's it just hits in the good spot. Now, one pizza chain that's kind of underrated, I think, is Chuck E. Cheese. I do like me some Chuck E. Cheese pizza every now and then.
Rudy, the best pizza is off Broadway, for me, without question.
Which one's that?
It's called Florio's.
Florio's. I've heard of Florio's. I definitely.
I'm gonna look up this Peter Piper.
They don't have Peter Pipers up there. Is that a Texas thing?
Yeah, they don't have that in the North or Midwest.
What?
Well, Rudy, we have Chicago style pizza up here in the Midwest, or at least between the two states of Chicago, Indiana. So
and Michigan.
Yeah, I want to correct. We don't eat deep dish pizza. This is not. Nobody eats that, but freaking people who come travel. So
I need to try Chicago style. I've never tried.
I will say Detroit style pizza is really good.
So, what about New? Okay, we're on the pizza rant here. Detroit style pizza, Chicago style pizza, and New York style. They're all different, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the one that has the tomato pie? Is that New York? Is that a
New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, they all sure sell those. So yeah, it's essentially just tomato sauce and maybe a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese.
Is there cheese under it?
Yeah.
No,
No, not
there's
under
really no
the-
cheese at all.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Okay.
So
I'm
a
getting
tomato
it.
pizza doesn't have really any cheese. It might put some Parmesan, or you could put on yourself on top.
Maybe
But yeah,
sprinkle on, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but-
it's a do it yourself thing. Rudy, they got a pizza here that's kind of new, but it's from Detroit called Jet Pizza.
that's so that's the first time, Derek, I actually ever had Detroit style was at Jet's Pizza.
Was it good, man? Please
And-
tell me, because I heard it was really good.
When it's done right, Derek, it's really good pizza.
I need to try it. And they have one here.
They
Derek?
have one
Jet
in
pizza?
Stone Oak. I haven't been. I asked my
Hmm.
nephew to check it out. I don't think he made it over there, but I looked it up, man. Because I look up food,
Yeah.
and the pizza looks fantastic. So hopefully we'll go on a good day.
We're gonna have to try it. Jet's Pizza. We're gonna have to try it out there. I'm loving it. I'm loving it here. James
And-
Horn, welcome James Horn to Sweep the League. Duke Facebook sucks. Or no, Facebook. Duke football sucks. I'm sorry. Every time I see FB, I think Facebook. I'm an old man, so
You
Duke
know, the
football
old
sucks.
school and the love. It's on Facebook.
I'm looking at this Peter Piper pizza. Really, this kind of reminds me of Cece's Pizza.
It's basic. It's basic
Yeah.
pizza is what it is. But it's almost like you kind of you got a liking to it. I mean, it's can you say cardboard pizza, but in a good way? I mean, it's got the little, not cardboard taste. Sith is saying Little Caesars is highly underrated. The sausage pizza, Little Caesars, I don't know. That's almost like drunk pizza. I think that's drunk.
No,
man's
Rudy, they
pizza.
really not that bad. It's
No, they're
cheap.
not bad.
It depends what store.
Yeah.
Bingo.
It
That's the
depends.
store.
That is the main issue, because I've gone most of the time. It's a bad experience.
Well, G, are you young enough to remember when Little Caesars first opened, basically, and this is in San Antonio too? You could only get, and it was like the ginormous pizza, the rectangle pizza, was the only way that you got it at Little Caesars. They didn't serve, the circle pies. It was just a big square, and it was like wrapped in not birthday wrapping or Christmas wrapping. You got home and you cut it up, and there was like a big old pizza. It was a rectangle pizza. I don't know. Are you too young to even remember that?
Probably so. I always remember Little Caesars as, the budget, the $5 hot box.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're way too
but
young then.
Derek, they do have Detroit style pizza. If you want to try that to have an idea, but Jets is better. But yeah, Jets is way better than Little Caesars pizza.
All right, so we're gonna have to try Jets, and it says Peter Piper's is the only in Texas, Arizona, California, Mexico, and New Mexico. So haven't made it quite up north yet. It's dough, tomato, and basil. No cheese. Coach Gio, Grandpa's Pizza offers an al pastor.
Hey, man, we got all these food people on here.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
impressed.
It's turning into a food show,
Yeah,
Rudy.
we gonna start just talking. We'll bring Gordon Ramsay on here. Just start talking about food.
We're about to get some Gordon Ramsay. Who else are we out there? Emerald. Emerald's one of them.
Gacy, yeah.
The Gacy.
That's my man. I always had that I like the most. Always had a contest. I can't think of his name.
The Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay, yeah.
Bobby Flay, yeah. Bobby Flay's another one. We have to get all these guys on there, man. Now we got to go.
Before the Spurs came on, I was watching a show with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, really? It wasn't Hell's Kitchen. That's the one I used to watch all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Oh, hell yeah. Sith is a chef. Bubba's 33 pizza tastes like Peter Piper's. Okay. I mean, I like Peter Piper's. I'm down for Peter Piper's.
Chef
Aaron Sanchez. Aaron. Oh, that's Aaron Sanchez. That's who that is.
I believe I actually met Aaron Sanchez in Fort Lauderdale when I used to work at the hotel. Pretty
What?
cool dude.
Are you okay? There's certain people in town that tell lies. Are you telling a lie here, or you really did?
No, I did, Rudy. I mean, I've met several celebrities. When you work in hotels, you do meet people. It depends what hotel you work at, but
Gio's worldly. I like it.
Fort
I know.
Lauderdale has a lot of people coming in, and he sat one day. I said, I remember him. He's from the Food Network. He's done a lot of things, and he's also a big Saints fan. So,
Aaron
you can also
Sanchez. I'll try to get Aaron Sanchez. Some of these guys might want to come on the podcast, talk about
Catch up
food.
on this steak. Oh my goodness, that's a new
So,
one for me.
Elias Leja's in here. Elias is a chef, quote unquote chef. He puts ketchup on his steak. His food takes are trash, so we shouldn't listen to him. Basically, ketchup on steak. I think I did that when I was like 5.
that is as a fat man myself, that is a no.
That is, well, I mean, I think, like I said, I will admit probably when I was 5 years old, I did that. Derek Irvin, take notes on these pizza places.
I am, Tim. I'm listening.
He's a certified badass, Gio. You got cool points. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, no, he's I mean, he's tatted. I mean, he's just a cool dude, man.
I can't believe we're starting the show with food on pizzas and stuff. Steak and ketchup snacks. That's disgusting. My son is 3, and he eats steak medium with no sauce. Got to teach him young.
Hey, Rudy, we got to get to basketball because I'm looking at Wemby. Did you see his Halloween outfit?
I did see his Halloween outfit.
Hey, shout out to Damian Lillard for ruining my parlay. Freaking more
Today,
like
Gio.
I said a big shout out to Damian Lillard for ruining my parlay.
When though? Tonight?
Tonight he was more like lame time instead of Dame time. My God, it was terrible.
Did you expect anything more? I mean,
well, I put him for 15 points for the bare minimum. The bare.
What did he score? 12?
He has like 4-6 points.
Yeah, he only had, I think he had like 6 or 7 last I checked.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Memphis looked good tonight from what I was watching.
Memphis is always going to look good, man.
Yeah.
He's always going to look good. One last food take. Hot honey wings will forever be the best wing flavor. We're going to get after some wing talk here, basically. Yeah, we're going to get into some basketball, but I got a question for both of you guys before we get into any sports talk. Promise my neighbor I would ask you this question. Let me get it for you here. All right, as homeowners, and Gio, I don't think it pertains to you just yet because I don't think you quite own a home. I know you own mansions around the world because you're money rich like that. But homeowners, at what point do you allow a neighbor, to park in front of your house? If they say, "Can I park here?" Yeah, no problem. I'm being a little neighborly. But if they leave their car there the entire time, at what point do you say, "You know what? F this, I need you to move your car. It's right in front of my house. Why can't you park it in front of your house?" Is it being real picky for letting them just park there and not saying anything? Or should you basically tell them, "Hey, move that junk out of the way"?
Are they on your property? Because the street is public property.
Street is public property,
then you should leave them alone.
Well, but if that's the only place you can actually put the trash can for pickup,
well, that's a different story.
That's what we're getting at.
That's a different story.
So that's what we're getting at. How do you tell? I mean, do you allow them to just stay there? I mean, because personally, if someone's parking in my front yard, I'm telling them to take a hike.
How about asking them, could they not park there on the day that they do trash pickup?
Possibly. But what if they don't move? They haven't moved in the past few months.
Oh, then call and see so they can check on, see if they're maybe dead in the house, if they haven't moved in months, or they're out of town.
Well, no, they're alive because I mean the truck does move during the day, but when they get home, they just park it there, and they don't really move till midday. The trash pickup is early morning, so that's what I'm saying. I think the rant for me is like, well, if they're parking in front of my house, I know it's public parking, it's the street, but there's got to be a point where you should be able to park in your own freaking house, like in your own front of your house.
Talk to them.
Well, it's not my problem. It's a neighbor's problem that has it. So I feel like talking to that person and saying, "Hey, can you mind moving your truck so they can utilize?"
Why can't the neighbor talk to them if the neighbor's the one that has the problem?
I don't know. Maybe the neighbors are shy.
Don't you be the middle guy, and then because what's going to happen when something goes wrong?
I've always wanted, Derek. I don't know. There's some times where you got a little hot headed sometimes, and you got so much built up in you. You got to let it out somewhere. So maybe picking a fight over a truck. I don't know.
Is he parking in his spot in his area every day?
Yeah, every day. So basically, the house is here, the truck's there. The neighbor's house where the truck belongs to has nothing in the front yard, nothing blocking their house. So why can't that guy park the truck in the front of their own house? That's my question. I get if you have a party. I mean, hell, you have a party, you have a party. But blocking the house every day? I mean, come on. That's got to be a little bit too.
I would just go up there and say, "Hey, can you stop parking in my area?"
All right, so Gio's voting for fighting.
No, I never said fighting. I just said, "Hey, just to let you know, you're parking in my spot." Is there?
No,
I mean,
we'll see.
I'm not gonna be confrontational. I'm just gonna say, "Hey,
God, just man, I don't know. That's the Mexican coming out of me, man. That's the Mexican side coming out of me. I got to speak up. Sancho Villa, I love that name. Sancho Villa, I love it. Got to speak up for show. Yeah, you got to speak up, man. You got to speak up. That's what I'm saying. If the vehicle has any dumb decals, I say vote for whatever. Huh? Yeah, okay. Something attacking to make passing by its vehicle. Okay. Definitely do something like that. Ooh, every day, hell nah, USOA towing my dude. Call him out, have them move that junker. There you go. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep everybody posted on Truckgate 2024 from time to time to see if they end up.
Have you ever parked in front of their house?
Never. I use my driveway. Derek, I've never owned a driveway in my life. This is the first time I've ever had a driveway, period.
Do you have a relationship with your neighbors?
I have a relationship with all my neighbors.
No, the ones
the
that's
exception of
parking in
that
your
one.
spot.
Well, they're not parking in my spot, but the one that has the issue, I don't have a relationship. I've tried talking to him, but I can't even get the guy to throw me a finger. I can't do anything. So
Well,
I mean,
you
I
don't
don't
bothering him enough, he'll throw you more than a finger. Me and my people packing legally today.
Yeah, that's why I can't go on the property though. I don't know. You think maybe if I do the cardboard signs like they do in the football games on the side and just kind of hold it up,
You have to kind of hit people the nice way, man, and talk to him and see how he responds. Talk to him and that you can ask him, why does he park? Why does he feel that's the only place he can park? But kind of be nice about it and see how that works.
That's true. That's true.
First thing, if you come in a negative way, first thing they're gonna tell you is it's a public parking.
That's true.
Come out and try to kill them with kindness and see how that works.
See, that's why I love you guys, because me growing up in the west side of town, you can take the boy out of the west side, you can't take the west side out of the boy, and it's always fight first, ask questions later, basically. So I gotta remember, I gotta be calm, I gotta be cool. Speaking of calm and cool, man, we're trying to transition into this season of the NBA basketball season. And we have a local team. It's, not doing very good, but it's something that we all expected to happen at the beginning of the year. Spurs are off to a rough start, and they're off to a very rough start. In fact, I can truthfully say that the best thing about San Antonio Spurs today is this Wemby costume. That's probably the best thing today that we've seen from the Spurs. That's actually a really cool costume, man. I'm still not understanding how it's working for him, but because he looks more like 6'2" right there than he does 7'3". But you wanted to bring up the costume, Derek. What do you think about the costume?
Well, it's different. Let me say that. I'm old school, man, so I don't know a lot of these costumes, but
neither do I.
I know when this show is off tonight, I'm gonna pull up a Halloween movie and watch something nice. So it's Victor. So hell, I'm gonna support it. I'm in San Antonio. Wait, nice outfit, Victor.
Gio, would you dress up as something like this, Gio?
Negative.
What would you dress up as?
I think it's nice. I mean, is it creative? It's pretty simple, right?
But everybody loved it, and Sancho Villa's right. Spirited. That's where it's from. Spirited Away. I've never seen Spirited Away. I don't even know what the hell it is.
Rudy. People loved it because Victor's wearing it. Now I don't know if you'll get the same response, or I would, or Gio would.
I don't even know if a trash bag can fit around me that big. That's for dang sure. That's what I thought it was a trash bag, but no, it's from Spirited, and that's what it's an anime show. So I got to catch up. I'm watching anime. Man,
the good thing is these guys are kind of loosening up, and this is what the fans like. And to see all these guys, I just saw a bunch of guys coming in their costumes. And I think that's good for the game, man. Sometimes people have to realize you bring the human element back into it. These guys are more than just athletes. I like seeing them just engage in this kind of stuff. I think it's good for the game.
Yeah, 100%. It is. We're talking about the Spurs and Victor. Now, that costume isn't very scary. It's pretty cool. What's scary is the performance between tonight's game in Utah, where the Spurs are down 51-55 at this point that we are talking right now, and last night's game against Oklahoma City Thunder. Victor hasn't looked good last night. He's not looking good tonight. As of right now, he is 3 of 9 from 3-point range, Derek. 17 points, yeah, but why is it that we keep circling that whole thing that we've talked about? Gio's talked about it. You've talked about it. I've talked about it. 10 attempts from beyond the arc. Is there no hope in getting him to understand? Does Victor look in the mirror and say, I'm 7'3"? What the hell am I doing? I don't need to be KD. I'm going
to say this, man, and I've been watching since the season started. I don't know if a lot of people paying attention. Pop is killing his rhythm. He started off well tonight. First quarter, he was playing well. And then with 5 minutes and something left, about 5.5 minutes, Pop takes him out the game. And I'm trying to figure that out. Is he on minute restriction again this year? Because I don't understand that. They were down by 9 points. Patty Mills came in, got 9 quick points. We were down like 11. But as soon as he puts the starters back in, we catch up immediately. Like now, we're down 4. But with this lineup on the floor, we play pretty good. I'm just trying to figure out why is Pop limiting Wemby's minutes, and he's also limiting Chris Paul's minutes. Well, that's the question for me.
Yeah, Gio, you got anything on this going on? Because it's kind of crazy that I know KD's his favorite player, but doesn't have to mean you've got to play like KD.
Yeah, I mean, look, KD's obviously a real talented player, and he shoots a good amount of threes, and Wemby's not there yet. And, it's possible Wemby just could be one of those guys, Rudy, who starts slow, right? Just kind of entering the season, trying to get into a rhythm. But yeah, so far, watching some of that game yesterday, I mean, Wemby, Rudy, he had 6 points yesterday or something like that?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
6 points, 6 rebounds.
I mean, a guy that size, Rudy, come on, 6 points? And what we've seen from him in the past, that should not be happening. But it is right now. The Spurs are trying to get into a rhythm. But we'll see what happens tonight. Hey, if they win, listen, they're 2-3, Rudy. Just one game off of 500.
Well, this is one of the games that I expected them to win.
Rudy, but it's 55 all, but you got to also he's not taking a lot of shots. He's not taking a lot of bad shots. No. He shoots the 3 ball, but when teams double team him, he's been getting assists. And I see his assists starting to go up. So he's not forcing the issue. And I think that's a good thing. But as the season goes on and the guys get more acclimated to the team, he's going to have to take more shots. But I like the fact that he's not pressing. He's not forcing it. Just like last night, everybody made a big deal about him going against Chet Holmgren. And I was impressed that he didn't try to force the issue just because he was playing against Chet. So for me, in my mind, that's a positive.
Yeah, it's a positive. And you had the whole debate, people going off, Chet's better than Wemby and da-da-da. At this point between the two guys, I mean, Chet is the more polished player, but never is it going to be that Chet's going to be the better player in the long run. He's going to have the better career, anything like that. Chet may be more successful because of the team built around him right now, but who's to say Victor doesn't get that same type of team built around him in the next couple of years? It just, right now, Chet looks better because of who he has.
Do you think that's why he looks better, Rudy? What about his motor? And he seems right now to have a better understanding of the game than Wemby. And I know people say that he had a year to sit there and watch, but they also have to remember Wemby was already playing pro while Chet was still in college.
Yeah.
Wemby was playing in France, playing professional basketball. So both of them are going to be great players. But right now, Chet seems to have a better understanding of the game. Wemby is still figuring himself out. Chet knows what he's about. You can see he worked out this summer. He's put on some muscle, and he's become a really good player. Hell, he right now might be in the top 3 big men in the league. And Wemby's time is coming as well. The style of play, I think, is affecting them a little bit because Pop has them. They're not like getting up and down the floor really quick like Oklahoma City. You got Chris Paul push, as your point guard. So they still got some things to figure out. But Wemby's going to be fine.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. I don't have any doubt about that. It's still a long, very, very long season. I'm more excited to know that there's going to be a long-time rivalry between Chet and Wemby. That's going to be an exciting rivalry, and I don't debate that ever. I know last year I had it pretty close between Chet and Wemby throughout the year, and then you saw Victor just turn it up at the end of the year and just dominate and showed why he was Rookie of the Year. So it's just going to be a great matchup, a great duel, a great battle between both guys for sure. But as of right now, Spurs are still struggling. It's still early in the season. Any news you guys want to talk about as far as NBA before we go into some NFL talk?
Gio, how long are we going to look at this picture, my man?
Rudy. Rudy loves the photo.
All you got to do is tell him to stop sharing the screen, man.
25 minutes.
I'm like, has he made it to the locker room yet?
He's got it. I mean, he's almost there, man. Yeah, give me a break. I'm going to share this one then because this is the biggest news that I saw coming out of the NBA right now. Is Paolo Banchero. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Now, I remember I was telling you guys, the Orlando Magic, that's my team in the East, the surprise team. But, man, they got to be healthy. This is definitely going to hurt the Orlando Magic, especially 4 to 6 weeks out. I hope they don't lose a whole lot of ground, but it's going to be tough to win games for the Orlando Magic. So that's my biggest news coming out. A lot of people want to talk about Zach Edey for Memphis. He's playing really well with Memphis, helping them out. What other news you guys want to talk about? What other stuff in the NBA before we head over to some NFL talk?
Go ahead, Gio.
I was talking about what I saw from the Lakers last night.
About Bronny getting the points in Cleveland? It's about the most exciting thing that happened that night.
Exactly. The Lakers, I was hearing, oh, man, the Lakers are back. This, man. Ugh. But you know what it is? It's an 82-game season, man. You're going to have your highs. You're going to have your lows. I still don't think the Lakers are going to make a run at a title this year, but it was just kind of interesting to watch kind of Twitter. But you know how Twitter is, or X, should I say. It's up and down by the minute.
Did you see what I wrote, I believe it was last week, about AD playing like an MVP? But will LeBron continue to let him shine? Nope. And him go ahead and stay in the background, be the second guy? It's already looking like LeBron, he just can't accept that and let AD is the man on that team right now. And when the quicker LeBron accepts it, the better the team will be. As you see, he led AD in scoring, like he outscored AD last night, and he lost by 24.
Yeah.
So that's where JJ Redick comes in. LeBron is 40 years old. You got a 28-year-old Anthony Davis, and they need to run through Anthony Davis, and then LeBron plays off of that, just like the other guys are doing. Hachimura and Austin Reeves and all of those guys. He needs to be more of a role player now. And then when the time comes, every now and then throughout the game, he'll be able to be LeBron James. But right now, AD is the guy. And until they realize that, they're going to continue to suffer.
When is Bron going to ever realize that?
He had that triple-double the other night. I mean, he looked it was a good game to watch. Stood up late.
Who was that against, Gio?
Was it the Sacramento Queens?
Yeah, okay. So he get a triple-double against Sacramento.
Already disrespecting Sacramento.
Well, look, the Kings got a good team. But, yeah, no, it's – and Brian needs to go to the D League, G League, whatever league he needs to go to.
Yeah.
Well, they said he's supposed to be there.
Yeah. After this road trip, they're supposed to have a 5-game road trip. After the road trip is over, he's supposed to go to the G League, but we'll see if that actually happens.
But once you once you got the father-son moment out of the way, you probably should have sent him down right there. I mean, there's no reason to keep him on the roster.
Did you hear the Cleveland crowd?
Oh, they wanted Bronny. Well,
Okay,
I guess that makes sense.
They
Why?
wanted Bronny, so that's what the game is about, right? People want to see him. They paying for those tickets. We'll see. JJ said he's going to the G League, but we'll see.
Yeah, Cleveland wanted to see Bronny because it was already, a 40-point lead for the Cavaliers. Ain't nothing much to watch in that game anymore. So may as well bring in Bronny here.
People got upset with me because what did I say? If Bronny comes in and plays more than 3 minutes, that means the Lakers are blowing someone out or they're getting blown out. There's no in between.
That is true. That is very true, man. Then, the Lakers season. Joe, what do you got the Lakers winning this year? How many games? Because I take credit for knowing the Spurs wins and all this other stuff, but you, my man, are on fire because you called a 7-win Cowboy season, and it's pretty much looking like a 7-win Cowboy season. What are you looking on the Lakers, man? Because I personally, I got them about 43, 44 wins, maybe high 48, 49, possibly.
I'll say 45, 46.
I'm with Gio, 45 and 37.
I think from what I've seen so far with some of the role players, but they play pretty good. Obviously it's still early. We got to see as the season goes on. But the Lakers, I'll say this from what I saw in the Kings game, is the coach looks like he can actually coach, right? Like I actually have seen him, saying stuff. They actually compared a clip to him and Darvin Ham. And it was just kind of funny because you see Darvin just saying like 2 or 3 words, but seeing JJ have the clipboard and doing all this stuff. So look,
you're right, and I'm glad you brought that up because people have said, well, JJ looks like a coach. Is it more that JJ looks like a coach, or McMillan and Scotty Brooks are doing a lot of the work?
That's possible as well. I mean, and look, that's how you have the assistants, right? And in the NFL too, you have all your assistant coaches. They got to do their job.
Former head coaches like that.
Obviously, NBA is a little bit different because it's not a large roster size. But look, he's playing the part for whatever it's worth. Darvin Ham to me always seemed to be looking lost out there, and I think LeBron respects Redick more than he did Ham. That's for sure. So
his podcast partner. LeBron hasn't wore on JJ yet. A lot of people think that when JJ was cursing the other night, it was about LeBron not taking that shot. Do you remember that play, Rudy?
Yeah. I remember he was yelling at him.
Take a rust shot.
Yeah.
But I don't believe he was cursing at LeBron when he said shoot the effing ball. Dalton Connect had the shot that had to be taken, and he passed it up. And so when he did that, it kind of put LeBron in trouble. And he was kind of in no man's land, and he had to force a bad shot or didn't get the shot off. He didn't get the shot off. But that was more for Connect. JJ won't be cursing at him. That's his podcast partner, and JJ's no fool.
Yeah, that's true. Dalton Connect must have dressed up as Luka Doncic for Halloween because he put Bron in a bad situation there, ran the clock down, gave him a bad shot. Doesn't Luka do that, Derek? Luka dribbles the ball and decides at the 5-second mark, let me pass it off.
He can get away with that. He's Luka Doncic. Yeah, it's not going to win them a championship. He can get away with it.
Yeah, Luka Doncic. Come on, man. Everybody wants to be that guy now. Nonetheless, we're going to move on to some NFL talk after the break here. We do a quick commercial break when we get back. The NFL, our friends over at Power Football Talk, released their rankings. Do you think the Chiefs are still number 1? We're going to find out because they are undefeated. Does Pro Football Talk have the Chiefs number 1? We'll find out when we get back. Sweep the League, Hall of Famer Derek Gervin, Hall of Famer Coach Gio, Hall of Famer soon to be Rudy Campos Jr. We'll be back.
Exclusive interviews with Rudy and the crew. Let's go. For the ones who doubted, now we showing the proof. Came from the struggle, we live in the truth.
STL Music.
Yeah, challenges come, but we here to stay. Built from the dirt, now we paved it the way. Had a bad day, but this life ain't.
welcome back to Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr., Hall of Famer Derek Gervin, Hall of Famer Coach Gio, NFL Talk, the Power Rankings, Pro Football Talk. Our friends over at Pro Football Talk released their Power Rankings, and no, Kansas City is not number one. The hopefully soon-to-be Lombardi Trophy winners, Detroit Lions, have overtaken the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City 2, Packers 3, Bills 4, Texans 5, Commanders 6, Steelers 7, Ravens 8, Eagles 9. Rounding out the top 10, the Minnesota Vikings, and then you've got, of course, the greatest team in the NFL, not the Rams, but the Atlanta Falcons, who are going to beat the absolute tits off the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. But we're going to get into.
Are you sure, Rudy?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm definitely sure. I'm not scared of the Cowboys. Seriously,
this is a type of game, and you know this, Derek. You've been punched in the mouth a lot. People all say you suck, and then out of nowhere, because the Cowboys do beat the Cowboys once in a while, Derek, they'll show up for a game now. So,
why you got a dog on my?
I wouldn't overlook
right
the
now.
Cowboys just yet. Yeah, they've had some bad games. They haven't been really winning, doing anything, but they did play 49ers and the Lions and some other team they lost to. But I wouldn't sleep. This is why the NFL is week to week. You know what? I'm going to call it now, Derek. Cowboys beat the Falcons. I'm booking it.
Well, you can't change your pick tomorrow when we do the pick'ems. You can't change it now. Okay, you can't change that. But nonetheless, the top 10. Derek, the Lions at number 1, overtaking the Kansas City Chiefs. We've said the Chiefs haven't looked good all year. I don't care if they're undefeated. They've just been looking bad.
They made some moves, though. They brought in DeAndre Hopkins, and then yesterday they brought in someone on the defensive side of the ball.
Which is a big move. It's I think it's outside linebacker Rudy from the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think it's Uchi or something like that.
Yeah.
And they got him for a 6th round pick. I'm just curious why the Patriots didn't ask for anything more. But I thought it's a good pickup. I think Devontae is going to be huge. Or I mean, Topic is going to be huge. Like, yeah, if he can stay healthy.
But it's not and that's I remember telling Derek when they traded for him, DeAndre Hopkins move it's not a move the needle move though, because look at the guys. I mean, we're not getting DeAndre Hopkins from Houston. Period. I mean, you're getting probably a sniffle of DeAndre Hopkins from early Tennessee and early, Arizona days, where he had some success in Arizona, but it's not a move that I think is going to make the Chiefs that much better on the offensive side. Gives them a great weapon, but I don't think it's like Odell when Odell was traded.
No,
it's like you're getting players that go from team to team. It's rare that these guys later on in their careers are going to have that kind of impact. Look how
I wouldn't compare Odell to the Hopkins.
No. But I'm saying, look at the guys Rudy. Later in the career. It's not anything that's going to be.
The difference is, though, Rudy, what type of receivers have the Chiefs had over the years? Besides Tyreek Hill and obviously Travis, who plays tight end, they just have a bunch of guys, Derek. Just a bunch of guys out there just receiving. Obviously, now Rice, they've drafted him. And they still have Worthy. They just need a guy who can fill a role, show up, because you got Patrick Mahomes, a 3-time Super Bowl champ. Really, they don't need any world beaters out there. They just need guys just to
again, Gio. He helps move the chains. You don't need him going for the 50-yard bombs or whatever. No. All you need is a guy that can help move the chains. And DeAndre Hopkins is still a very, very serviceable receiver. And I don't know, man. I hope you weren't on that Odell bandwagon. Odell is more worried about things off the field. He wants to be known for other stuff, and you see him all the time. The kind of guy that gravitates to the camera. Hopkins wants to show people he's not done yet, and I think this is a great move when you put him with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I was never on the Odell bandwagon.
Well, not the band, but people think Odell was great. We were starting to talk. People started talking like he was already great, be one of the greatest and all that stuff because he made some nice catches. But DeAndre Hopkins, to me, has always been a better receiver than Odell. whatever his name is. What's his
Beckham.
last name?
Jr. Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, Beckham. I mean, what has he been doing in Miami? Has he been playing? I don't even know.
He hasn't. But go back. Odell's best time was his rookie year.
He's already unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, his best years were in his rookie year, maybe second year.
I'll say this though.
4 years that could scheme for him.
In the Super Bowl with the Rams, if he didn't get hurt, Derek, he was going to be. It would have been an outstanding game for him because he was lighting them up to begin with. So Odell would have had kind of his, shining moment. But yeah, it hasn't worked out. The Dolphins, they need a fast receiver, right? Like that offense is very gimmicky, right? They get guys open quick. Odell to me never really fit in that Dolphins kind of gimmick, kind of real quick scheme. I just don't see it.
They need to move. What's the two guys, Mostert, and what's the other really quick guy on their team on the defense?
It's A-Chain.
Yeah, maybe they need to move them to the offensive side of the ball. Maybe them play like Travis Hunter or something.
Yeah, no, they are talented, but if you see their offense, Rudy, it's a lot of things moving left, right, quick stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see Odell running that type of offense. It's just not really him. So, do you trade for him for a 7th round draft pick? Sure,
No.
maybe.
Odell Beckham?
Send him back to the Giants.
Now, why would he want to go there, Derek?
Well, at least, but you know why? I don't think he cares about winning. He just cares about having an opportunity to catch the ball. And if Daniel Jones can get it to him, he'll be happy because he'll be getting some shine again. Whether it's winning or losing, that's a different story.
That's
but
a big
I
if.
think he's the type of guy that just likes the attention, kind of like Antonio Brown.
Well, look. Listen, Antonio Brown, if you go watch him on X, Rudy, I'm sure you've seen him and his stuff. That it's pretty comical.
Oh,
but not to switch subjects, but I do want to give a shout out to the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning a Super Bowl. But
Super Bowl.
I mean, a Super Bowl, a World Series.
I was like,
but
relax.
I want to say this though, and get this off my chest.
All right.
You should win when you spend over $1 billion.
Oh God, here we go.
You should win the damn championship because you're buying yourself an actual championship. So congrats, Dodger fans. You deserve it. Your team spent basically $1 billion in which they don't even have to pay back now because they can pay somebody later on when they're retired, which I hate. But congratulations, Dodgers.
Wow, $1 billion. And get this, Gio. Come the offseason, they've already said they're willing to spend a 13-year, $600 million price tag to get Juan Soto that he's requesting. Can you imagine Soto, Ohtani, Mookie Betts? I mean, that Dodger lineup's going to be.
They might lose Clayton Kershaw, man. It breaks my heart. I hope he gets a chance to come back.
Listen, and we've talked about this in the past, Rudy. It's time for a damn salary cap in baseball. It's time. It is. And am I crying because my damn team doesn't spend any money? Yes, I am. But
you got to make money to spend it, though.
The Mariners are, I believe, year after year are top 10 in attendance. I mean, people show up to the games. It's just ownership. But no, not to be funny, but congrats to the Dodgers. They deserved it. The Yankees, Rudy, my God, it's just I couldn't believe what I saw. You mean to tell me that the pitcher's not running to that first base, Rudy?
Garrett Cole?
He's just standing there. I said, dude, run.
I've never seen that before where he's pointing for Rizzo to get to the bag. And
now I'll say this, though. Rizzo needed to be faster than that, Rudy.
Well, Rizzo needs to retire.
It looked like he was jogging to first base.
Yeah, Rizzo needs to retire. There's no doubt about that. He needs to go. Josh Spa, the Indian, says, what's up? Also, hey, quick, before we move on to more football talk, and then shout out again to the Dodgers. Congrats to the Dodgers. Derek called Dodgers in 5. Derek's been calling everything, so that's why you need to listen to Derek Kirvin.
I struggled on the football. I struggled on the NFL last week, man. I got 5 or 6 wrong.
You nailed the college one. That was 13
Derek,
and
if you would
0.
have put that in a parlay, my brother, you would have made a lot of money.
What, on the college?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have
Yeah, I
probably you would have
don't-
made
I
it.
You
don't
would have
gamble.
made several thousands of dollars, if not 20 something K or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to talk to
yeah.
Gio about that because Gio's the local gambler of the group here. So
Well,
he's Kenny
gambling's a
Rogers.
strong word. But you
Well,
know,
there's
Rudy,
no other way to put it.
Rudy, do you want to talk about not to change back to the NBA, but I sent that video on Dominique Wilkins, who made that comment about basically his coaches told him, "Hey, we need to get David Robinson the scoring title." Any thoughts on that?
Well, he said there was a couple of people that were a part of it, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, that knew about it that you could ask. I don't know. I mean, do we feel not just the NBA but the NFL? You're seeing it this year. The NFL. I hate to use the word rigged or fixed, but there's always some shady shit going on in sports. I mean, there's always something going on behind the scenes. There's no doubt about that. So for Dominique to say that, I wouldn't put it past it to happen. I really wouldn't, to be honest with you. I don't know, Derek. I mean, between all of us, Derek's played just a little bit of pro ball. We haven't, obviously, but I mean, what do you feel on that with Dominique Wilkins on that comment, Derek, saying that basically the NBA came into the locker room and said, you know, we want David Robinson to get that scoring title?
I don't know, man, because even if they said that they didn't have to agree to it, and he got the 71 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Dominique saying that, I don't know what's his reason of bringing that up this late. And I mean, it's happened so many years ago. That's like me saying the same thing about my brother. Why even bring it up? Because that's 1978. So we talking about 46 years ago, and then the David thing, I don't have much to say about that. Let's say I'm glad he scored the 71 points. And Dominique, I don't know, man, why he talked about it. I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to say, bringing it up now and trying to figure out, okay, what's really going on.
What's the purpose? What is that going to do about it?
I didn't watch the full episode. I just kind of saw that clip. And, you know, obviously Dominique's entitled to his opinion. And, you know, Rudy, we've seen players over the years. We've seen Arian Foster come out and say some odd things. Though Arian Foster said that each play was scripted. And I have a big issue with that because I find it hard to believe with the object of football, Rudy, to script every play as in someone's giving you like an actual script. I know that's kind of a joke, but and then we also had Rudy Benny Cunningham, who came out and said it was several years ago that the NFL is completely scripted. And I haven't heard from Benny in a long time. But, I mean, look, gambling is here, Rudy. We all know what's up. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, we got some questions in here. I'm going to let you guys handle this one. We've got Jasper the Indian asking, how do you feel about the Steelers? And he also wants to know Russell Wilson, our thoughts on Russell Wilson. I mean, Steeler-wise, 6-2 on the year. They're top of AFC
I don't know how
North.
Tomlin does it, man. Jeez.
Mike Tomlin is going to Mike Tomlin. You know, personally, I know a lot of people were against the Justin Fields starting. I mean, they were winning games, yes, but Derek was a big one on that. Don't play Justin Fields, play Russell Wilson. Justin gives you a dynamic that Russell doesn't, but it makes more sense for Russell Wilson to play because the offense is a lot smoother, you know, with Russell Wilson in there. I think with Russ playing to answer both questions, truthfully, I think that makes them probably the best team in that division. Even though Baltimore's there, Baltimore still has a little bit of kinks here and there. They still got a little bit of holes to fill. I mean, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Derrick Henry, but they still can be beat. Right now, the Steelers, they're looking pretty damn good. I like what I'm seeing from the Steelers. Let you guys jump in to help out Jasper here.
I like what I'm saying. And I was a proponent of Russell Wilson last season. I got some flack from people on this very show.
Who, me?
Listen,
Probably.
Russell played. If you look at the numbers, Russell actually had a good season last year, a very good season. It was a lot of dink and dunking, but hey, he still threw for as many yards and also touchdowns last year. He had a good year. He comes to an offense now that, they got Arthur Smith running the show there. I'm not a huge fan, but they seem to be rolling. Now, Russ did have that bad fumble, Rudy, at the end of that game that could have cost. But, of course, your boy, Danny Dimes, decides to throw an interception to literally end the game
He's not my
usual.
boy anymore. He's not my boy anymore.
I like what Pittsburgh's doing. Their defense is playing well. It's interesting. There were some rumors that Cooper Kupp could be going to Pittsburgh. I think they need another receiver. But, man, they're playing very well right now.
Yeah, Derek.
Russ moves the ball, man. He can throw the ball down the field. I'm not a big Justin Fields fan. I don't think I'll ever be. The guy can run, but his position is not running back. And if you look at the offense was stagnant with Justin Fields. What were they scoring? 19 a game or 17 a game?
Yeah.
And it was consistent. They were winning games, but they were fortunate to win some of those games because the defense was carrying them. Yeah. It certainly wasn't the offense. And as soon as Russ comes in, what happens? They put up 35 points or 37 points the first game. That's what players on the team want to do. They want to score points, and it takes points to win. You don't always have to rely on – you don't want to wear out your defense. And with Russ, the guys seem to be happy. They've jumped on. They like the energy he's brought to the team. Now, of course, he's not going to play great every game or every play, but he's re-energized that team, and they look better now than they ever did early in the season.
Yeah, you're right. Let me ask you a quick question, a hypothetical question here about the Steelers for both you guys. Their only two losses were against the Cowboys 2017 and then the Colts 27-24. If Russ plays there, are they undefeated right now?
I'm not going to say that for me because I don't like to look back. It is what it is. They might have scored less with Russ in those two games. I don't know, but the way they look right now, they're definitely a top 7 team in the league right now, top 7, 8 team in the league. So I just think they're going to keep riding this wave, and we know Mike Tomlin has never not made the playoffs. So I just think right now they look really good, and they're going to continue to, I think, advance and get better.
I mean, technically, they've only played 2 teams that are above 500. That would be the Broncos and the Falcons right now.
Look, I mean, you play who's in front of you. Obviously, we're here to analyze. Rudy, it's possible they beat Dallas. Dallas is probably a little bit better at the time, clearly, than what they are right now. But maybe only 1 loss on the season. But Justin Fields obviously was part of it, and they were able to play. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Is this a Super Bowl team? I don't think so. I don't see that just yet.
Not in the AFC, not yet.
Could Russell outduel Patrick Mahomes? I don't think so, but hey, we'll see what happens.
Well, that brings up a good point, because say they are able to get, I'm gonna be flat out honest, Joe. There's no way the Rams should take any calls on Cooper Kupp. Now that Kupp and Puka Nacua are back, I think you just roll with them for the year. You have Matt Stafford, you got Kyren Williams. I told you, man, Jared Verse is going to be a beast this year. I love Jared Verse. So I think the Rams just need to roll with who they have now. Don't make any trades. But as Jasper was saying, they do need a receiver. They do need another receiver out there. So they can go after a receiver. Who it is, I don't know. But as far as the Steelers go, if they add another receiver, I mean, the possibility there of them competing with the Chiefs, at least, I think I like them more against the Chiefs than I do against the Bills, to be honest with you. I think I like that matchup a little bit more if you're talking about playoffs.
I mean, what I saw the Bills do, and granted, I know it's the Seahawks, but on the road in Seattle with a pretty heavy downpour, as it usually does rain, Josh Allen picked that defense apart.
Yeah.
And Keon Coleman, Rudy, I don't know if he's here yet, but man, he had a phenomenal game against that Seattle secondary. I like Buffalo a little bit more than Pittsburgh. I guess we can go back and forth on that, but
I do too.
Pittsburgh, if they keep if they keep on pushing here, I mean, right now the AFC is interesting. The Ravens. Shout out to Jameis Winston, came in there slinging around.
Derek and I were talking about that. I said, watch Jameis come in here and beat these Ravens like crazy.
Well, that's because of coaching, though, Rudy. How many times did Derrick Henry run the ball? 11?
Yeah, he didn't run it very much, man.
That's inexcusable, man.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with the Ravens. Lamar's getting his yardage, but what happened to having a guy that's wearing teams out in the fourth quarter? Derrick Henry wears you out, and then his best time is in the fourth quarter. I don't know what Harbaugh's doing, man. I don't understand that. Is he trying to save him for the playoffs? We know he didn't bring him in, as he said, make sure everyone knows to run the ball 30 times. But how about bringing him in enough to win games so you don't have to try to scrape and get some wins at the end of the season and try to move up in your position? You need to be playing that man right now.
Yeah.
Well, Cleveland's defense, the Browns' defense is a pretty good front. They're at home. And these divisional games, as you know, Derek, anything's possible. I throw records out when it's division games because you play them twice a year, you know them very well, and this is just a perfect example of Browns playing them every year. They know how they play. But man, Jameis looked well, and as I told you guys, you can't sit in a locker room and tell them that Deshaun Watson give you the best chance to win. You can't lie to your team. You're lying to them when you say that. And we just saw what Jameis did. Now, can Jameis go out there and throw 5 interceptions next week? Yes, because he's done it before. So, you have to kind of battle that with Jameis. But so far, so good.
What are you waiting on, Rudy?
Okay, sorry, I was muted. Sorry.
Hey, but tell me this. I'm looking at this list now. The Ravens number 8. Do you believe they've really fallen that far? I know they've struggled, but it's only if you play Derrick Henry. Don't you think they're still a top 5, top 6 team?
In the AFC,
in the league.
Oh, in the league, man.
You can't name 6 teams that'll beat the Ravens and come playoff time.
So I would probably have the Ravens. I have the Lions. I have the Bills. And for now, I have the Steelers above the Ravens. I don't really put the Chiefs above them right now. I still don't believe in the Chiefs. They're 7-0, but I still don't believe in them. The Packers, Jordan Love got injured again, so his health is a question mark for me. The Texans, I don't know, man. I can't get a good read on the Texans right now. But I mean, Baltimore, Derek, I wouldn't be mad if you put them in the top 5. I wouldn't be mad 4 or 5.
I still think they belong up there with the Lions, the Chiefs, and the Bills. I still got the Ravens up there. You might be able to throw in the Packers, but like you said, Jordan Love is hurt. Other than that, I think any day, Lamar Jackson is not worried about beating a Pittsburgh Steelers team led by Russell Wilson. I think the Ravens, with 5 out of 6 times, I'm taking them to win that game. So I still think they're a top 5 team.
Gio, what do you think? Top 5 team, Baltimore?
This thing changes every week. It seems like the team go up.
Well,
team
the
goes
Bears
down.
helped, JGO.
Huh?
The Bears helped, of course.
Well, Jen, you know what? So I think not yet. I still think the Ravens are a top 5 team, but they need to be more consistent. Just keep pounding away, keep wearing teams down. But to the Bears, yeah, you ought to fire your head coach. To me, it's a fireable offense.
What about the guy, Gio? What's his name? The one that was celebrating.
Oh yeah. Oh, was it Nichols?
Tyreek Stevenson. I think it was his
one
name.
of the worst.
Have either one of you guys ever seen that happen in all the years you watched football?
The band is on the field
during the play, and then he runs over there and he's the one that tips the ball.
I would say the closest thing was the band is on the field. Stanford. Oh, was it Stanford and Cal? Was that what the game was?
That's crazy.
The game wasn't over yet. Yeah,
that's a crazy. But the fact the Bears fans are saying, turn around. He goes, he tips the ball, but then the Bears, you decide to give your offensive lineman a rushing attempt, and he fumbles in the red zone. Whose idea is this? You can't make this up. Why are you giving the offensive lineman read for a running play? They did that. They did something stupid like that against the Colts. I forgot what kind of play it was, but it was a trick play in the red zone. Okay, how about this? You don't run any trick plays in the red zone. You figure it out. Jesus, man, the Bears. Caleb gets you down there twice. You get one of those, and then your defense decides to just be bonehead. And typical Bears fashion. It was so many videos. It was just funny.
So what about the play before the Hail Mary? Wasn't that a dumb play as well for them to just allow them to get 13 yards? Now you're in position where he can throw the Hail Mary. If they don't get those 13 yards, he can't even get the ball down there towards the end zone.
Yeah. So it comes down to, do you think that a player would do that with a Bill Belichick head coach? There's no way. And if he does, he's literally released the next morning.
Oh, he's cut that night.
Andy Reid, right? If you do it to Andy Reid, some of these coaches, they don't respect their coaches. And I told you, Rudy, they should have fired the coach to begin with last season, and they bring him back. And Ryan Poles, I'm telling you right now, as Colin Cowherd always says, Rudy, it's not about being right. It's about getting it right. Why do you have the coach still there? I have no idea.
I don't know. People are wanting all these coaches fired, all the way from Bears head coach to Greg Popovich these days. Everybody wants a coach fired when their team is losing left and right or making bonehead plays, man.
Go Buffaloes.
Go Buffalo. Why are you cheering for Colorado?
Because that was my pick, Rudy.
I
told you. I said they're going to make a bowl game, and they're going bowling.
Hey, Gio, they keep it up. They're going to make a really good bowl game.
Yeah.
And if Travis Hunter is not out 2 weeks ago, they beat Kansas State at home. So I like
that. Yeah.
their opportunities, and the Hoosiers still undefeated.
I can't really wait to talk tomorrow about college football, because the Hoosiers, man, they're undefeated. They it's Hoosier Nation. The official team of Sweep the League is the Indiana Hoosiers, and it's going to be the college football weekends. I looked at the games.
Rudy.
Holy cow, it's stacked. What's up?
I know we're going to cover the college tomorrow, but I got to switch over. I got a question before we get off. I want to ask you guys about the NFL, the Miami Dolphins. The situation they're in right now, how do they get back in the playoff race, basically, where they're a contender, when you got a quarterback that you have to worry about now going down, basically, if the guys are rushing him, he can't take any more hits like that. Because if Tua, I'm sure he knows, if he gets one more concussion, he's done. How do you deal with a situation like that?
I'll let you go, Gio, because
it's a tough spot. Tua, he did look like he was trying to slide most of that game. I saw some of it. It's tough. And their team, to me right now, they just can't. I mean, to lose that game the way they lost, Rudy, it was against the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Listen, man, the Cardinals are like a cockroach this year. They just won't die. It's how many games they've been down, and they find a way to come back. The Dolphins should have won that game. Derek, I think they're done. I just don't see them making a run simply because Tua has been out. He's still trying to get back into the rhythm of things, and their defense continues to just not show up. So I don't see it.
Hey, Gio, you see the transformation from their coach? He looks like a gangster now.
Well, as someone who's lived in South Florida for a bit, that area will do that to you.
Oh, man. I'm like Steve Nash of the NFL now. He's going to have to break out with the Tums, because I just can't see it. I don't want Tua to get hurt again, but I know it's a lot of you talk about mentally, like affecting guys like Tyreek Hill. I'm like you. I don't see how they can get any better either. It's basically, I don't see how they can salvage the season.
It's tough. And you know what's crazy is you look at that division, and Buffalo's got a commanding 4-game lead right now. I mean, over all the teams there. And that's kind of ridiculous because Tua doesn't go down. I mean, the Dolphins are a better team with Tua. The Patriots, we figured, okay, the Patriots still rebuilding. It's going to be a little while. The Jets, I mean, 2-6, they're leading the Texans right now, 14-10. So again, that goes back to what I said earlier about Houston being in one of the top 5 teams. I don't see it because Houston, to me, it's still wishy-washy with the Texans for me. I don't know what I'm going to get out of the Texans. It seemed like when Nico Collins went down, that whole team kind of took a step back.
What about the Jets? Devontae Adams already have people giving him the 2 thumbs down.
Oh, that was a horrible move by Devontae. We were saying, do not go to the Jets. Do not go to the Jets.
The Jets, I watched that first half where Aaron had 14 yards. Now, they're winning by 4 points right now, I believe.
Yeah, and they got the ball.
And
they scored again. If I'm not mistaken, they just scored again.
21-10.
Devontae has a 37-yard touchdown. To me, the Texans right now, with Diggs out, Rudy, and Nico, not sure when he comes back. Their running game played well. Their offensive line's a bit beat up.
Yeah.
Man, the Texans, it's a tough loss, but I tell people it's hard to win a game in the NFL, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
It might look easy, and from you coming in, you're a better team, you're gonna win most of the time, but it's hard to win a game, and we see that last week the Rams, right, beating the Vikings team. Rudy, Jared Verse, as you talked about, Rudy, I've been seeing him. He's a scary dude, man. That dude's scary.
Very scary. Very scary, man. No doubt about that.
He's probably gonna win Rookie Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps it up.
Who's MVP right now? If the season were to end right now, is it Jared Goff?
Oh man,
that's a tough one. And I don't know.
I would say
offensive player. It's an offensive player. That's a tough. It's not Mahomes. I know he's hit 6 before last week. He had 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's the front runner? Who would be front runner for the MVP? Is it the young fellow with the Commanders? I mean, who is it?
I would say give it to Justin Fields for stepping aside and letting Russ take over. Honestly, who's been playing better than Jared Goff? It's hard to say. I mean, people can point, oh, hey, they got a running game. But there's a lot of games
about the running game too.
The running game has been absolutely deadly.
Yeah, Montgomery and Gibbs.
But then you look at the Seattle game. I mean, that was all Goff right there.
But has there ever been a year you guys can remember in the last 10, 20 years at this point in the season that you would have to think really hard about who would be the MVP if the season were to end after week 8 or whatever it may be?
No, man.
You usually have clear front runners. Now we don't. I'm not going to put Josh Allen up there. It would be a pick 'em, put it in the hat, put names in the hat, basically, and pull out a name.
I would say Goff and then probably Lamar. 1 and 2, I would say right now.
You still got Lamar up there.
I still do. I mean, you can't give it to Patrick. There's no way. There's a Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson. Hell, Jaden Daniels is having a better year than Patrick Mahomes, if you think about it.
He really is.
So there's a lot of quarterbacks playing better than Patrick. So I would say Goff 1, Lamar 2. After that, it's almost like a toss-up because you really can't throw. You could maybe put Josh Allen in there at 3, but
I'll put Daniels 3.
Honestly, I would definitely probably put Daniels. If not 3, he was 4th, I would say, in the MVP voting right now. Joe, you got to see it a different way.
Jared's been really good. I really can't. And Jared Goff, when he's on, he's on. And even with the Rams, those first few years for Sean McVay, there were times where he was an MVP candidate. So when everything's working well, he's doing his thing. This is the team that I think right now, I'm going to go with Jared Goff.
I'm going with the offensive coordinator. Ooh.
Ben Johnson.
And so, listen, Ben Johnson, well, watch out for him. I'm sure Jerry wouldn't mind having Ben Johnson on the sidelines there.
Well, that's who the Jets fans want right now is Ben Johnson in New York. But if Jerry's smart, he goes after Ben Johnson. That that solves a lot of offensive issues for you right there on the offensive
You don't
side
like
of the ball.
Schottenheimer?
I like Ben Johnson more. I really do. I think he makes more sense. But at this point, if you're a Cowboy fan, you just want anybody. Hell,
I
you
would
don't
get
really
rid
care.
of Zimmer and McCarthy, and I will keep Schottenheimer. I don't think he's a problem at all.
Well, you can
I think
keep
you clean up.
Schottenheimer.
I
No, you can
think
keep
you clean
Schottenheimer.
house.
Well, no, you can keep Schottenheimer, but you bring in Ben Johnson as the coach, a head coach. I think that might work out.
If I'm Ben Johnson, I want everything that resembles Mike McCarthy out of here. Start clean slate, bring in your own staff, and go from there.
That's what most coaches do. Yeah.
But I don't see Ben Johnson going to the Dallas Cowboys. I just have a hard time.
Not right now. Yeah.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think I know he's going to be the hot commodity. There's no doubt about that. Every coaching position that comes up in the offseason, he's going to be the hot commodity.
But Jerry makes it hard, Rudy. It's kind of like guys. You know how guys were passing up the Lakers because it's hard to play with LeBron. I'm just being honest about it.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's the same in Dallas when you're dealing with Jerry still. I heard some rumblings recently about him maybe letting his son have more of a say. But we've heard that before. I don't think Jerry can stay out of the limelight. And until I see otherwise,
no. Jerry
Jerry can't help himself, Derek. He just can't. He has to be the center of attention. And he wants things to go his way. And until he gets out of his own way, Jerry's going to keep putting in those VHSs from those 90 teams and sitting back and watching, saying what could have been. That's basically what Jerry's going to be doing. So
VHS.
I don't understand. When you guys told me that Dallas was going to win 10, 11 games, and the big addition to the team, Derek, was Ezekiel Elliott, I said, wait a minute. You guys think this team?
I'll slap myself, man.
Now, granted, could they go on a run? Sure. But as of right now, man.
Hey, Gio, I said they're going to win 11 or 12.
Yeah,
I haven't been that wrong in a while. Hell, I'm like,
Rudy
now
thought I was
like,
crazy. He said, Gio, are you serious? Are you trolling the Cowboys? I said, no, I'm not trolling them.
Now I'm like Jim Moore. And we usually play it about the playoffs. I'm Jim Moore now.
Oh, we can definitely play Jim here.
Playoffs.
And the thing about their
playoffs
was that
playoffs
from year to year, things change. Your defense can play really good one year, and next year, and Zimmer just hasn't worked out.
It has. It's been a bum of a ride for the Dallas Cowboys. Before we go here, we do have Tim one last question before we go, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. to give you our NCAA NFL Pick'em show. We're going to be posting them every Saturday and Sunday morning for you guys to follow along with us. We're going to also do another contest to where if you're doing the Pick'ems, you shoot us your Pick'ems. Hey, you do better than us, you'll win a prize, from us here at Sweep the League. So nonetheless, he wants to know real quick, who's the rookie of the year in the NFL right now? I don't think I have any doubt. It's Jaden Daniels. I mean, there's okay. I'm sorry. Let's rephrase this. I have a small doubt because as great as Jaden Daniels has been, can you really neglect Bo Nix in Denver? I mean, it's hard to say. He's leading them to a good record. They're winning games. I mean, they're 5-3 right now behind a bad Kansas City team. I know the defense has a lot to do with it, but he's not putting up terrible stats. But I have Jaden Daniels 1.
Did you just see that ranking, man? They had the Commanders number 5.
Yeah, that's
a unanimous rookie of the year.
Yeah. Oh, I said I have Daniels 1, but
unanimous.
I mean, really,
no, unanimous.
Unanimous. Well, if all three of us have a vote, we're all picking Jaden Daniels, so that's unanimous. I mean, we all got one vote.
People are actually taking the Commanders serious. They haven't been taking this serious since they were the Redskins years ago.
Yeah.
And when they go out now, they expect to win. We still don't know with Bo Nix how Sean Payton, what kind of mood Sean's going to be in that week. So, I mean, the young fella, they've given him the keys, Rudy. Even the last play, for him to be able to move around that field like that and throw that Hail Mary. That was special, even though the guy, he bumbled at the end and topped it. But for him to even get out of the pocket like that and run from one side of the field all the way back to the other side of the field, that's a guy that has a chance to be special.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he played 10 years in college. I mean, I would hope the guy was ready to play in the NFL. I mean, the guy was
never going to let that go, man.
Dude, he played.
Bo is 30.
He's basically 30. I would hope he would be prepared to play. So,
oh my God.
What was his best player of the year, though, Rudy? Wasn't it straightening Sean Payton out?
I think so.
On the sideline when Payton touched him?
Yeah, putting Sean Payton in his place on the sideline was probably the best play of the year for Bo Nix, man.
Well, I think Bo was just frustrated. And he's more like talking out loud, but obviously Sean's right there. And Sean's a fiery guy. We saw what Sean did to Russell Wilson last season. But, hey, kudos to the Broncos. They're playing well.
They are.
You know, he is a bit still hanky-janky at times. He is a rookie, so he'll continue to get better. But right now, they're a good team. And their defense has been really – now, granted, they did play the Saints and the Panthers. But
Gio, your guy has come and made some strides, though, hasn't he, Caleb? Don't you think in the last few weeks he's played a lot better than the first few weeks of the season?
He's playing better. He's
slowing down a little bit, starting to see the game. The game is slowing down a little bit for him.
Yeah, he's starting to play better. Not where I think he should be, but I also feel like
it's still a mind game.
If he didn't have that attitude, man,
exactly.
I mean, this offensive line, there were times where he's gasping. You can see on the sideline, he's gasping. There was a hit, Derek, and the Commanders, they hit him really hard, and he's trying, and he's out there playing. But look, you got to play within it. I just think the offense has just been. You got Keenan Allen, you got Moore, Odunze, you got all these guys. My God, you can't put up any points. And then you try a fullback slam with an offensive lineman who then fumbles. What is this?
Yeah, that was crazy call.
What is that play?
That's on the coach.
Throw that out the playbook for sure.
Not the playbook, And I don't blame the lineman. He's an offensive lineman. He's there to protect.
Yeah, that's on the coach, man. That's all coaching right there. I'll admit at the end, Gio, he's been playing a lot better. Caleb Williams has been playing a lot better. Not the generational talent that everybody called him, but he is
not
playing
yet
better.
at least. Yeah,
you can throw yet out of the
Rudy, my last thing I gotta say tonight. I hope all the young people that love sports were paying attention. Even though the guy went out for one play, Anthony Richardson. Not a good look, and you see he's paying for it now.
Yeah, and I didn't like Anthony Richardson coming into the NFL, and you're seeing the reason why, man. I mean,
but he's only played like 10 games.
Very injury prone. That was the biggest bump I had on him.
But do you give up on him this early in his career? Do you basically throw him under the bus because he made a mistake? Because the young man that made the mistake for the Bears, I mean, was Anthony Richardson, what he did, was that worse? Because he said he was tired. So do you punish him now and you go to Flacco for the rest of the season? Or at some point, if they were to start struggling again, do you go back to Richardson?
See,
let Gio go.
He's been hurt, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't really played. Listen, I saw him in person, Rams coach last season. Rams went to OT. I was pretty impressed. I thought he played very well. He gets hurt and then just doesn't work out. He comes back. He's been inconsistent. But they knew, Derek, he was a project. He had, 10, 12 starts at Florida?
Yeah.
He's a project player. You knew this. And to sit him for Joe Flacco, and I think Joe Flacco, when Joe Flacco comes in, he is so impressive. I mean, he's just got there. He's gunning. But you mean to tell me you're going to bench him now? I think you could bring him back, though. I'm sure he realizes he hasn't been playing very well. His confidence is probably down, but I think he'll get back up. I still think there's talent there. Maybe it just doesn't come all the way through with the Indianapolis Colts. I think there's something there, but as I always say, guys, it just matters where you go, right fit, right time. And I think maybe at this moment is just not working out. Joe Flacco could probably take this team to the playoffs. We'll see, but
yeah,
it was almost a Ewers and Manning situation on a higher scale. NFL, but still, are you showing the guy that you don't have confidence in him? And then if Flacco struggles, then what? It's going to be hard. Because plus you kind of taking some of his value away when you bench him like this. That's what I was just thinking about. If you were to try to trade him, aren't you taking away some of his value?
Yeah. I mean, in a way you are, but to be honest, I don't know if Richardson can bounce back from something like this. You've got the entire league.
What if you were his agent? Would you feel that way then?
I mean, you're his agent. You're supporting the guy 100%. You're trying to put him in the best position possible. I mean, because that's his future. But how do you approach him and say, you quit? I mean, you quit. It's in a game where every game is important because there's only 17 of them. And you're in a pretty good position. You've got a pretty good team around you, and you pull yourself out of the game because you're tired. I don't know if I've never seen that before, ever. Ever. So they always say there's a first for everything, but that's for a guy that's one of the youngest guys in the NFL. I mean, second year in the league. When the hell are you tired, man? I mean, if Flacco can go in there and play an entire game and get hit and beat up left and right, and these guys never get asked to come out of the game. I mean, hell, you had Matthew Stafford one time in Detroit play with a separated arm or broken clavicle or something, and he went in there for the last play of the game to get the touchdown, and he threw the damn ball to get the touchdown. I mean, you've seen a lot of players come in worse positions. And to me as a coach, Derek, you question the fact of, are you really truly our guy?
Yeah.
Are you really truly our guy? So wouldn't surprise me if they decide to move on at the end of the year and say, you know what, you're not our guy. And it won't be the only time. Bryce Young is going to probably be on the move too from Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of young quarterbacks. In other words, back in the day, you could wait for a Peyton Manning. You could wait for some of these guys for 3 years to kind of develop and get, something somewhat acclimated. These days, I think you're giving them a year, 2 years max. If you can't get it, we need to move on.
Shedeur Sanders time.
Oh no, man! I can't do the Shedeur Sanders thing.
Hey, he's been playing. He's been playing.
He's
no longer a fifth rounder, Rudy.
For whatever he's been given, he's out.
For
whatever he has there, he's been playing. They could make it to a Big 12 championship game.
Gio, isn't he a first or second rounder now?
Yeah, but Rudy's just
stop it. Hey, I will say this. In my latest mock draft that I do have, I have Shedeur Sanders in the first round. He is drafted in the first. There's so many teams that need a quarterback going into this draft. It's not like last year's class. There's very limited quarterbacks. So I actually have him going in the first round of the NFL draft.
The Dallas Cowboys.
No, I don't have him going to the Cowboys, actually. To be honest, I'll tell you right now, I have him going to the Jets. I think that's the market that I think Dion would like to see Shedeur in. And I had him being drafted by the Jets. So, I mean, that's kind of what I looked at right now. This is Rodgers' probably last season in New York. So they're going to have to get a QB. And I think they're going to probably end up going probably with Shedeur Sanders is what I had him drafting at right now. But I actually had him trading down and grabbing some picks and then getting Sanders. So I got to release that mock draft here. But nonetheless, we're way above, we're way past our time limit here on Sweep the League. But tomorrow, NCAA picks, we're going to be making them. You're going to get our picks in. Does Derek go undefeated again? I'm going to say probably so. I'm going to let Derek pick first on all the games tomorrow so I can copy all his picks. Then we've got our NFL picks coming up as well. So if you want to join on the picks, we are live tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Be myself. Gio, you going to be on the picks show tomorrow?
Yes.
He will be. Okay, you heard it here. So if he's not showing up, I'm going to give everybody Gio's address and phone number.
It's yes now, and then maybe I might go out for dinner. I don't know, Rudy. But yeah, no, I should be here.
You do the picks from the phone. If you can send me your picks, I'll announce them to everybody if you're not going to be here. Nonetheless, we're going to do our picks tomorrow here on Sweep the League. Derek Gervin, Hall of Famer Coach Gio. Also, real quick, we've launched STL Music. We are part of I Am Refocused Network. We are part of everything. The Best Boys Podcast, Lean Left, Lean Right. We have Sweep the League or Unplug or Sweeps Unplugged. That's another podcast that we've got going on here. A lot of outside, basically unplugged, outside of sports type stuff going on. So a lot of interviews coming on that. You're going to see a lot of those shows coming up here. The network's growing, guys. So if you want to grow with us, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search at Sweep the League TV. Be a subscriber. We've already reached out to a lot of you guys on YouTube. I have yet to receive messages back. Be sure to check those comments that you leave on YouTube. When you leave comments, we send you messages. We reply to those comments. Say, hey, contact us so you can collect your prize. I've got a few people that have prizes waiting out there. So don't miss out. Be a subscriber. Comment on our shows. The more you comment on our shows, our shorts, our live videos, our regular videos, anything you comment on, you're entered to win, but you got to be a subscriber. So again, hit that subscribe button. So for Coach Gio, for Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr., until we sweep the league again tomorrow, we'll see you later, Knuckleheads.
Everybody have a good night.
Are you a hockey fan looking for the latest on the Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and NHL news of the week? Barry and Carson Best bring it all to you on the Best Boys Center Ice podcast. They break down games, provide insider updates, and keep you up to speed every week. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and join their hockey family.
We build a legacy, yeah, they know the name. STL Music, it's a movement, not just a claim. Loyalty, respect, that's the code we honor. In the face of adversity, we stand stronger. We build a legacy, yeah, they know the name. STL Music, it's a movement, not just a claim. Loyalty, respect, that's the code we honor. In the face of adversity, we stand stronger.
Welcome to the Lean Left, Lean Right podcast, where spirited debates and open discussions reign supreme. Join hosts Rudy and Shemaya as they dive headfirst into the hottest topics in politics and beyond. They're all about seeking common ground without losing their passion for their perspectives. If you're ready for real talk and honest opinions, subscribe now and join the conversation.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Ever wondered what regret smells like? Meet Interception by Dak Prescott. Tired of scoring all the time? Us too. That's why we created Interception. For those men who don't want to score tonight. With notes of missed opportunities and a hint of maybe next time, interception is the perfect scent for the guy who prefers the friend zone. So, take a break from winning and spritz on some interception. Because sometimes it's okay to drop the ball.
Exclusive interviews with Rudy and the crew.